All right, ladies and gentlemen, Devya Sajno, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Sounds Good Podcast. Our today's guest is Mr. Aakarsh Valecha. Aakarsh Bhai is a musician from the Pune indie circuit. He's released his latest track called Dil Tu Raahi Hai, which is there on all streaming platforms. And it's doing wonderful numbers. And we're really elated to have him. Also with me is my co-host, Mr. Parth Valuskar. Parth Bhai, say hi. Sorry, Tanma, but we don't want to do the AIB thing. But yeah. So, anyways, so we are really excited. Akash bhai, how's it going? What's the lockdown been
Amazing.
like?
It's amazing. Yeah, it's kind of a roller coaster ride. Good
Hmm.
in some sense, like making music and having a lot of time for us and with the family.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
there's a again, the problem when you start making songs, you need some different places to visit and go. So in this situation, you are not going anywhere. You're sitting in a particular place. So
Hmm.
creativity, kind of gets balanced.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Yeah.
No, I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from because a lot of people have different processes. Like a lot of artists we've spoken to have their own processes, and I relate with the part of you saying that you need to get out of your house to feel a different way. And what is song? Songs is just basically capturing feelings and making people
Correct.
feel different things, which is excellent. But your song, you're not traveling, but your song is traveling a lot of places, and it is about
Yeah,
traveling.
yeah.
So it's
It's
not
about
even
travel.
ironical. It is just true. So,
Perfect.
so tell us about Dil Tu Raahi Hai. How did you make the song, and how did you go about making the song?
Yeah. So Dil Tu Raahi Hai, the journey began, I guess, 2 years back when I wrote the song. It's been like 2 years back now. So at that time, I had to write something because I'm quite inspired from this local train band, and they
Hmm.
had the song called what is
Dil
that?
Dil Mere,
Dil
Dil
Mere,
Mere.
correct. Yeah.
Ah.
So I had that in my mind. I wanted to make some song which you go outside and you go with the friends and then enjoy relaxing and all the
Hmm.
thoughts which comes up in your mind. So I wanted to make that kind of a song.
Mm.
I wrote that song and then we started jamming with our AAVEG. So AAVEG group, I have a AAVEG group. The people involved with that, so we started jamming in the places and then performed at some of the places also, like open jams and live gigs also. And
Hmm.
yeah, so the recording basically started in the month of September 2019.
Hmm.
That was the audio recording,
Okay.
and then it took, yeah, about a year ago. Definitely, like this. I guess I released it on 25th or 26th of September, and
Hmm.
I started on 25th of September only.
Oh wow,
About a whole year,
so cool.
man. Yeah. So yeah, it was a great journey for me, and definitely for the like video recording. There was a whole bunch of people. Whole team was involved in that actually. So there was a drone shot involved in it. So drone pilot was needed for that, and
Hmm.
cinematographer. So all the
Hmm.
things were already in my mind. So we planned and we discussed a lot on, like, because the people were from the Mumbai, so we discussed on calls 2 to 3 hours,
Hmm.
sometimes in a day for a week,
Hmm.
and the whole story came up, and then went for the shoot also, just before the Corona
Wow.
time.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
That's
yes.
excellent. That's excellent. But so you tell me, आपकी journey कैसे शुरू हुई? How did you begin as a musician? What have been your influences growing up? And what do you think of the current scenario? So if you could just categorize them into A, B, how did you start? B, what are your influences? C, what is your perspective on the current scene? So if you would like
Right.
to go ahead with that.
So okay, actually, see, I'm quite influenced from the singer KK, if you know the KK,
Hmm,
Krishna Kunnath sir.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of him, his voice and the kind of music he involves into. Like, with a romantic
Hmm,
voice, and so
hmm,
uh, the first song which I guess I heard from him was the Zara Si Dil Mein De Jaga Tu,
hmm,
which was my kind of a song, and I'm
hmm,
always very excited to sing that song in front of the whole crowd and all. So
hmm,
my journey begins from that, and initially I was not into the this independent music and all. I had, because kind of a Bollywood is all around for us. So I used to listen to
hmm,
Bollywood songs and perform the Bollywood
hmm,
songs, like in
hmm,
close parties with the friends and with the families. Then we have this karaoke also. So karaoke
Hmm.
was my base for me always to perform.
Hmm.
Because at
Hmm.
that time I
Hmm.
don't know any instrument to play, and there was nothing. I don't even know this keyword, indie music, indie artist, how to write the song and something like that. I don't know anything of
Right.
that.
Hmm.
So it
Hmm. Hmm.
all began in 2016, I guess. I
Hmm.
was doing MBA at that time in Pune only.
Mm-hmm.
So one
Oh,
of my
great.
friend, yeah. So one of my friend was musician
Hmm.
before that also, in during the MBA days also. So he had this song called "Fana Kar De." I guess
Hmm.
you must have known the song also. I
Yeah. Yeah.
performed many places. So
Yep.
he had that song also, and from that kind of influence from some, because you find an influence from somebody who is into this music, indie music,
Hmm.
or maybe he's also influenced by some indie music artists and all. So he gave me these ideas that yeah, you can also make your songs also, or you can
Hmm.
make the music also. That
Hmm.
time it kind of that was the first time that this things appears to me in my
Hmm.
mind. And after that, we worked on this song Pana Kar De,
Mm-hmm.
and but that was not my composition all alone.
Hmm. Hmm.
So when I completed my MBA and started working in some MNC company, after
Hmm.
that we find a group of some bunch of these wonderful artists, musicians who will totally into the indie. And at that time, that gave me a boost that
Hmm.
yes, if these people can make it, I also am that capable, because I have that
Hmm.
experience from the past, let's say 6 7 years. I am though not into the indie music, but I am kind of listening this music, so you get influence from these things also. So that
True.
gave me confidence. My father and my mother also told me that you can also write the
Hmm.
songs of yourself. So I started doing that, and yes, this uh, Dil Tu Raahi Hai was the second song, and there was a first song called as Main Kaun Hoon. So that
Mm-hmm.
was kind of
Hmm.
my thing, like who am I? So that
Hmm.
was the first song I wrote. Then this one, and after that,
Hmm.
yes, I'm now totally into this indie one now.
That's
So
excellent.
it's kind of a balance, I have the Bollywood preference also, and I have this indie also. So first,
Hmm.
initially, Bollywood was on the top, and indie was very low, and it's
Hmm.
kind of increasing this one. Bollywood is
Kind of
decreasing,
balance.
indie is increasing. Yeah,
I think it's important to be a little commercial also, as
yeah.
much as it's important to protect your own identity as a musician and be safeguarding that purity that is there. But I
Yeah.
think it differs from each. And I think if you're conditioning, I mean, there are people who deliberately try to become commercial.
Mm-hmm.
They do well or don't. That is another topic altogether. But if you've been conditioned that way, listening to Bollywood music, also if you just I just feel that indie music has nothing to do with not being commercial, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like even a lot of people have spoken about that fact that indie music, at the end of the day boils down to independent music. So, however which way you want to express yourself, without the boundaries of a label or a set system or infrastructure or the
Right.
music societies that are there. If
Yeah,
you're doing your own thing, that is your own projection, right? So,
yeah. So at the end, I mean, if you are not looking to sell your music, what are you trying to do? So that's what
Yes,
I
exactly,
feel.
definitely.
exactly.
So if you are doing something and if you are doing it professionally and that's the only thing that you are trying to do to earn money, why should it not be commercialized? It should be. I
Definitely.
mean,
Hmm.
you should I mean, you should make your songs, but then if someone says that okay, you are an independent musician or I am an independent musician and I don't want to be a sellout, and being sellout and being a commercially oriented artist is a different thing. So I don't see why people should be like
So sorry, guys.
No
Internet.
stress. No. This is like a Zoom CPR that we gave you.
Uh,
And we just gave
that
for
that telecom company give us always.
पर नहीं वो एक्चुअली द आयरनी इज कि सारे गाने दिल के हो रहे थे और हम सीपीआर भी दे रहे हैं तो मतलब पर अच्छा है कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट बन
Disconnected.
गए आज के पॉडकास्ट में हम सब लोग
Yeah, yeah.
पर
Say it.
it's good to have you back. So we were talking
Yep.
about. Anyways, let's forget what we were talking about. My next question for you, our next question for you is, what is your process of writing a track? Like you said that Dil Tu Raahi Hai took a year to be made. So what is the usual process? How do you go about making a track from like you start like with a demo version or like a tune and then by the time it's fully produced, mixed, mastered, how much time does it take?
मैंने सिंपल प्रोसेस ऐसा फॉलो करता हूँ कि अगर मेरे को एक थीम है मेरे माइंड में, आई हैव सम थीम इन माय माइंड दैट आई हैव टू मेक लेट्स से ट्रैवल सॉन्ग, ठीक है, तो मैं पहले ट्रैवल सॉन्ग्स के जो रिलेटेड सॉन्ग्स है, जो मेरे आर्टिस्ट हैं जो मुझे अच्छे लगते हैं, आई लिसन टू दो सॉन्ग्स, जैसे ये दिल मेरे हो गया उनका, ठीक है, तो जो मेरे को उनमें बेस्ट लगता है आई ऑलवेज लिसन दैट सॉन्ग अगेन एंड अगेन. So some tune always comes up in your mind while listening to the original track, let's say दिल मेरे, ठीक है, उसके बाद फिर ये होगा कि ठीक है वो सॉन्ग मेरे माइंड में आया, देन आई ट्राई टू इम्प्रोवाइज द म्यूजिक इन टोटली डिफरेंट डायरेक्शन एंड आई ट्राई टू ऐड माय एलिमेंट्स इन दैट. So like my elements is that I need mountains, I need beach, I need any particular kind of a feel in that song, so I'll try to add and try to change that music. So it's totally I don't make a music that like it's always coming in my mind. It doesn't go like that. I listen some songs and I try to improvise totally in a different way. So that way how it goes for me in making the music.
So
while for the lyrics, if you say lyrics, definitely is always like first I make the music and then I add the lyrics of that.
Okay,
Right,
I was going to follow up with that question. What comes to you first? Is it the lyrics or the? I think
it also differs from song to song for everyone.
Yeah, it differs. But mostly what I've seen is musicians tend to make music first, thinking about something, and then try to write based on that. Very less people are right now doing the other way around.
So initially, first two songs, the first one or two songs, I wrote the lyrics first, and then I went for the music part. But then I realized that यार lyrics में ना extra बीच में बहुत सारे extra words आ जाते हैं, it doesn't fit into the music part.
Right.
That's why I changed the process again. That's kind of learning for me.
Right. Because I think there are two type of musicians, like you said, एक तो lyrics और फिर song. But I think sometimes lyrics can even like जो आपकी initial tune है उससे आपको deviate भी करा सकती है कि आप वो extra syllables को cater करने के लिए, वो extra wordings को cater करने के लिए you end up elongating the tune or something like that.
It's kind of a restriction basically. You have to, these are the lyrics, you have to not change them according to your tune, but you have to change the tune. That's more difficult in my perspective basically.
But Parth and Bharat, इसमें एक ट्रिक है कि जो इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड है ना, अगर आपको इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड फॉलो करना है, दैट्स लाइक काइंड ऑफ अ साइकोलॉजी ऑफ अ पर्सन. सो लेट्स से मैं अपने एक इंट्रो म्यूजिक बनाया, ठीक है, इंट्रो म्यूजिक करंटली स्टैंडर्ड इंडस्ट्री में इट्स लाइक अप्रोक्सीमेटली 15 to 30 सेकंड्स. अगर आपको 30, 35, 40 पहुंच गया आपका, ठीक है, सो पीपल विल नॉट लिसन टू योर म्यूजिक एंड दे विल गो बैक. वो आपको 30 सेकंड के बाद सुनेंगे नहीं, ठीक है, तो आपको अपना म्यूजिक अपना हमेशा इनिशियली 30 सेकंड्स के अंदर रखना है. इफ यू गो बाय दिस logic which is the industry standard which industry uses, and that's industry have not made them on the basis of their like ऐसे खुद नहीं बनाया, but that's a human psychology. मैं 30 seconds ज्यादा मैं किसी को स्टार्टिंग में बोलेगा मैं सुनूंगा नहीं as a normal public, general public. तो उसके basis पे
valid in that. You're completely valid in that. Like father says that लिरिक्स कभी रिस्ट्रिक्शन होते हैं. अगर आप उनका गाना सुनोगे तो वो मतलब एक पोर्शन में लिरिक्स ही नहीं, ऐसे वो ला 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 हटाओ रिस्ट्रिक्शन मुझे जो कर रहा है. So
just to point out, मतलब वो जो सॉन्ग है और उसका जो पोर्शन है, that is actually about being free without restriction.
Correct. So if you listen to this, नहीं if you listen to this दिल तो राही है ना जो मैंने बनाया, उसमें मैंने कोई वो नहीं किया था. This was a song जो मैंने पहले इसका लिरिक्स लिखा था और बाद में इसको म्यूजिक दिया था मैंने, बिकॉज ये बिल्कुल इंट्रो का स्टार्टिंग का गाना है, ठीक है, तो उसमें यही मेरे को बाद में रियलाइज होता है कि इसका इंट्रो चलो ठीक है वो कैसे करके मैंने 30 सेकंड बना दिया, बट अगेन व्हेन यू कम टू द हुक लाइन पार्ट, इसका दिल तू राही है, वहां तक जब पहुंचते हो ना तो वो आपका ड्यूरेशन हो जाता है 1 minute 44 to 1 minute 40 ऐसा समथिंग 50 seconds, ठीक है, एंड आइडियली इट शुड कम बिफोर 1 minute 30 second. 30 seconds का इंट्रो हो गया एंड देन अप्रोक्सीमेटली 1 minute का आपका जो प्रॉपर जो आपका फर्स्ट लाइंस होती हैं, एंड देन योर हुक पार्ट शुड कम बाय लाइक 1 minute 30 seconds. अगर उसके लॉजिक से मैं चलता तो फिर मैं शायद हो सकता है वही ओपनली मैं भी नहीं एकदम से कर पाता, बट बाद में जितने मैंने गाने बनाए हैं आई हैव फॉलो दीज लॉजिक्स also.
Right. That's a good clarification. कि अभी जो गाने बनाए वो अभी सुन लो अभी ठीक है सब कुछ ऑलरेडी. So पर नहीं that's great. तो आप मेरे को ये बताओ कि considering yourself in the scene, where do you see yourself in the scene and where do you see the scene itself? Where do you see yourself in the Pune circuit for a longer time, or do you see yourself capturing a bigger national market, or where do you see yourself? Your international market also. What do you see yourself at?
इंटरनेशनल मार्केट का तो आई कैन नॉट से बिकॉज मैं अभी एज एन हिंदी सॉन्ग्स में ज्यादा रहता है, इंग्लिश में मेरा बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है हिंदी सॉन्ग्स में. तो मैं ऑब्वियसली इंडियन मार्केट में ही फर्स्ट रहूंगा. एंड फ्यूचर में ऑब्वियसली आई कैन नॉट से कि मैं हो सकता है मेरा इंटरेस्ट बहुत ज्यादा इंग्लिश में आ जाए तो I'll try to make English also, but abhi as of now it's totally Hindi. And so the next 5 years, 10 years down the lane, what I am doing currently is like, see, music is my passion. It's not 100% time that I'm investing in music. I have a job. Okay, so like 9 to 5, 9 to 6 something job and after that I work on music part. Currently I'm earning from my full-time job and music is not giving me any income. So I'm investing my income from the permanent job into this music. So this again kind of a balance currently मेरा ऊपर अभी ये है job है, ये थोड़ा सा हमेशा ऐसा रहेगा. As soon as that music gives me some money, starts giving me money, so वो मेरा ये job will go down and the music will go up. And at some particular time in like 5-10 years, if let's say or maybe quickly, I'm able to earn sufficient amount that I can feed my family or the future family, whatever. So at that time I'll leave the job and will go totally into the music.
That's great. But बहुत सही बात है actually. I think that is a very practical approach.
Good way to go.
That's how it should be. Are you saying something?
No, I was saying good way to go.
Yeah, that's a very healthy way of looking at things, because a lot of people, and I mean, I don't disrespect the opinion, but they'll be like, he's not fully dedicated. But you are actually, you are dedicated because you're able to look at the long term and you are deciding, you're investing more money. And I think even Raftar had spoken about this when he had his beef with MEA, this track thing with MEA. So he had also spoken that independent artists are not supposed to not earn money. And independent artists are supposed to suffice themselves. And also Rohan Joshi, who's a co-founder of AAVEG, he said that you should not quit your day job until your artistic career is giving you twice the money that you would earn from your day job.
Correct. That's true.
And I don't see any hindrance with it really stopping you, because performances usually happen in the evening. Now, so everything is happening remotely via gigs and all, live gigs and all of that. So it's a very healthy approach, and
that's the reason. Even if let's say my job starts let's say at 9 or 9:30, and sometimes it goes till 8 or 9 also in the evening. So that doesn't mean that like after doing 9 to 9 or 12 or 13 hours, I'm tired. See, tired is again a thing, psychological thing. It's not in my mind. I'm always dedicated to music. When I do music, it gives me satisfaction, motivation to work more also next day. I don't get tired. I don't get don't get anger from sometimes boss. You know, your boss is giving you some tane and all the time. I don't care about that. It's like just do your work and then you have a music. Do the music. Next day again gets motivated because you have done that music and you have that gives the motivation actually. Yes, that's a simple thing for me.
That's excellent. That's excellent, because I can speak that for myself. I remember that when we were doing Bavdan Make venue when we were doing our gigs there, you used to actually come at 9:30 and you told me that you come from your job directly, and I had a lot of respect for that.
Right.
You're still very enthusiastic and you would usually do the last performance or something, and I could see the energy levels that you and your group, आपका जो band है जिनका था, that was very, very inspiring, so to say. So that's excellent. Anyways, that brings us towards the end of today's podcast. Thank you so much, Aakarsh bhai, for joining us. Aakarsh bhai, if you would want to tell our viewers and our listeners of our podcast who made it till this point, where can they follow you? Where can they find you?
Perfect. Okay. So you can, I have written currently I have written 2 songs, which are official as of now. One is this Dil Tu Raahi Hai and the other one is Tujhe Salaam Hai. Tujhe Salaam was a dedication to the COVID warriors. It's already there. So both of these songs are already on all the music platforms, Spotify, जितने भी music platforms है. And officially on YouTube, you can follow my channel, which is AAVEG Group. It's AAVEG Group. And Instagram, Facebook, everywhere you can find me on the AAVEG as AAVEG Group. You can follow me this.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And guys, anybody who's made it to this point of the podcast, please go and follow Aakarsh Bhai on the handles that he mentioned. You can follow our podcast, soundsgood.pod on Instagram. We are there on YouTube as well. You can type Sounds Good with Bharat and Parth. We are also there on WordPress, on Spotify, and also Vivid Bharati. Thank you so much for joining us. We are not on Vivid Bharati. We're not. I wish we could. But anyways, thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you in the next episode. Cheers.
Thanks, brother. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Parth. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.